Okay, early morning o'clock, stopped to do some video, aka have a rest. Good grief, that is a steep hill. That's a ball to the feet hill, that is. Oh, that's why I've come up this hill first. I'm on my way up to a place called Ben's Hill. And that first little part, that trail there, is super steep. It's literally ball to the feet. So I have stopped for a rest, aka photography break, in inverted commas, because I'm knackered. And then I just have to wander up here now. Once I'm up into that meadow piece, which is just up through those trees, it becomes more of a slow plod up the hill. But that first bit where you turn off the main trail, oh, that is steep. Right, I'm going to head on up that way. There you go. This is how close you can get to these guys. Literally 3 feet. And there's another little one just over there wandering off into the bush. Yes, I see you. Good morning to you too. It's a nice day, eh? Yes. Oh, I can hear your little ones over there in the bush. There's another one here somewhere, because I can hear two. Right, well, I will try not to disturb you. You are obviously enjoying the sunshine. I will continue on my way. Yes, it's amazing. You don't see them until they literally move. Oh, there's the other one, the other side of the pathlet. So there's one off to the right. Oh, there he is, coming back to mum. If that doesn't make for a good start to the day, I don't know what does. These things are so nice. Yeah. Oh, I can hear two. So there's another one off to my right somewhere. In the bushes there where the other two are going. Yeah. They are so well camouflaged. I literally nearly trod on them. But they don't move until you're like literally 2 feet away. I call them heart attack birds, because literally they jump out the bush full on and then away they go. Right, so my trail for Ben's Hill continues up that way. That was a nice start to the morning. Well, I've moved up through the forest quite a bit. It's fortunately it's flattened out fairly well. I heard some voices off to my left. I think they're heading up Prairie Mountain. That first steep bit that I just done, Prairie Mountain's like that, but for much longer. It's not a trail I enjoy doing, actually, I must admit. It's very steep, very hard on the knees. Yeah. If you're 20 and a trail runner, it's probably not too bad, but I'm not. I just had Star's helicopter come through. He seemed in a bit of a hurry too, so yeah. He came up the valley to my left, off up over the top of the mountain, heading out towards Moose Mountain there. So I think it was stars. It was bright red, and it sounded like stars. Went and headed off over towards Moose Mountain. So it could be a resupply, or it could be somebody in trouble. Either way, it's a good job we have these people that do this job. So, right, I'm going to stop waffling and just wander on and enjoy this forest. Well, I'll be. That's still there. Those rocks have been up there for some time now. Not sure who put them there. There used to be one rock on there, and now there seems to be lots. It's a good way marker though, because although it's very easy to find your way through here in the summer, obviously, pretty well. You come up here in the winter, and the snow's 2 feet deep or whatever. It's very easy to wander off trail. Very pleasant. Yeah, a bit cooler too. It's very hot of late. It was way up in the 30s. That's a bit hot for slugging up hills with backpacks. However, when I left this morning, it was about 10-12 degrees, I guess. I think today's high is going to be mid-20s ish, something like that. Not much hotter, I don't think. That's why I set off early. Get that nice cool air in the morning. Yeah. Right. So we'll continue. Unfortunately, you don't get much of a view coming up through here. Not until you get right to the top. but it's a very pleasant walk. Right, well, I broke the tree line, so it's good. That mountain in the background over there, that's prairie. That's where everybody heads up the top. I noticed the voices of the people I could hear stopped. That's probably because they've run out of wind. Yeah, those mountains over through the trees that way. That is Moose Mountain. I can see the fire lookout up on the top there. That's always a nice walk up through there, but a bit too exposed for my liking. I prefer forests. And this here, unfortunately now I'm out in the sun. I don't get much sunshade until I go down the other side, I'm afraid. Yeah. Gonna head up across the grass here, and once I get to the other side of this opening, I'll show you why I came up here. Well, here I am at the top. This is Ben's Hill, and as you can see, that's prairie over there. That's where it'll be on a day like today. There'll be hundreds of people heading up there. It's a very nice view from up there and all the rest of it, but that first bit of the climb is just bleh, all the way down through the mountains that way. Straight ahead, roughly in the middle of the shot there's Banded Peak, Outlaw Glasgow and all that lot. Across that way I can see, like, way down through that way, that looks like Burns Mountain down through there. Just the corner there of, or it could be Blue Ridge, or the Blue Rock, sorry. Yeah, that's the valley down through there, up the Elbow Valley. That goes all the way down through that side and up around. So yes, that could well be. Yeah, it's an interesting rock band over there I've never been to. I just spotted somewhere else over there that I've never been to. Spotted another rock band in the distance. Rock bands are good because you can kind of wander up through the forest. Looks a little steep in there, but I'm trying to figure out where that is. Okay, so what I need is my trusty compass in a minute. I've just rearranged all the rocks here. These have a northeast southwest rock on them, and for some reason they were all knocked over, so that wasn't good, so I put them all back up. That is the north, east, the brown one down there is south, and that one there is west. There's a shadow people, high shadow people. It's very nice up in here. Between here and Prairie Mountain, if you turn right and go down the other side, it's a little steep in places, but that'll cut you right across to the bottom of Moose Mountain. I'm trying to figure out where that rock band is up there. That must be along either the backside of Forget-Me-Not or Iperi-Ipan. I'm not sure which that is. I can't see the front face of it. I usually see the front face of the rock. Looking at the shape of that, I think that's Ipan. Yeah. I shall take a bearing on there in a second and then look it up on my map when I get home. But if this does not make it a very nice place to come to, I don't know. It's not much of a walk up here. It's a little steep in places, a couple of steep bits, but as you can see, gain a fair amount of elevation here. I don't know what it is, 400-500 meters, something like that. It's not huge, but makes for a very pleasant walk actually. And the good thing to know is, on the way back, which is that way, it's all downhill. Somewhere on that mountain, on this side, or the north face of there, is a cave. And I know a guy called Dave who's mid-70s now, late 70s now I guess, and when he was younger his dad used to take him up to this cave, but it was quite dangerous, so I believe it's all been covered in. That's why Dave had been looking for it. He went there when he was a kid. His dad used to take him up there, but it was a little bit on the dangerous side, I think, so I think they actually concealed the entrance. I think it was all covered up so that people wouldn't go exploring in there. But somewhere on that mountain, don't ask me where, because I don't know. If I knew, I'd go and tell Dave, but I don't know where it is. Somewhere on there is a cave. This whole range all up through is limestone. It's absolutely riddled with caves. So but if that does not make a good view, I don't know what does. So I'm going to get the rest of this gear off. I'm going to get my flask out and I'm going to have a very nice cup of tea and enjoy the sunshine. Well, I just took a bearing from exactly the centre of this fireplace across to the top of Banded Peak. That bit I want to look at is exactly 190 degrees, so that should make it easy to remember by the time I get home. It's sausage roll time, cup of tea time, gear off time, and enjoy the sunshine time. Can't have a campfire at the moment because we have a fire advisory on, so we're not allowed outside fires. I've often wondered whether there was an easy way from here to the top of Prairie, but there is a meadow that goes across that way, but I know that particular meadow cuts down the back of there, so you'd have to go straight up that side, and I know that that is a very steep slope. You can look at it, you can see all the snow and crap has fallen off it over the years. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be wandering up through there. But, that's a terminal slope. Not good, don't like walking up that stuff. There's a lot of loose rock up in there. Looks like it's a bit of a snow chute as well. But if that does not make for a very nice sit down and rest, I don't know what does. That's all looking down towards Gibraltar, and that must be Blue Rock then, I guess. Not sure. Yeah, I know one of those. There's some mountains all over there, all down around the back of where you've got Banded Peak there, right in the centre of the shop. To the left of there, and down the back of that mountain, there's a very nice valley that comes up through there. That's where the Elbow Lake starts. They've got it all closed off at the moment because they're doing a bunch of renovations and what have you up in there. So, yeah, it's closed for the rest of this year. Yeah, that's a very good hiking area. Also incredibly popular, which I think is why they're expanding the parking area there and redoing it. Because on a really busy day like today, if that was open, you'd just be a complete zoo for cars down there. Complete zoo. Yeah. Right, I'm going to enjoy this sausage roll. I'm going to see if I can see any people up top of that mountain. And there used to be a flag up there, but I can't see the flagpole at the moment. Normally used to be able to see it from here, but yeah, who knows. I shall have a look later. Right, that was a very nice sausage roll. Definitely needed that. Some grass sticking my arm there. Right. Well, I'll have to pretend that that's a fire going. I realise they were not allowed fires. And yes, it is tea time. But if that does not make for a nice tea break, look at that for a nice view for a tea break, eh? Perfect. Oh, that is super hot too. Yeah. But very nice area. Looks like we're in for an amazing blue sky day. I think it's probably going to be very busy out this way today. Just have a feeling. Just need somewhere to put my tea down. Split. Oh, Christ. That was nearly bad. Nearly lost my tea there. That rock. Used to be a nice big flat rock right across the top. But it cracked about 3 or 4 years ago. I come up here and it had cracked in half. So that's a pain. Spilt some tea. So I got all my junk off at the moment. Yeah, that's good. Oh. Used to be written over here. I don't know if you can still see it or not. People ask me why this is called Ben's Hill. Well, you can still just about see it in the rocks. There's the B, E and the N. There you go, Ben's Hill. And there's the very ancient prehistoric stone circle-ish of Ben's Hill. It's a very nice spot. I must admit, I'm surprised I haven't seen any early morning mountain bikers up here yet. Actually, it's not exactly on the main route that people like to use, but it's certainly a good spot. Look at that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And Glasgow's looking really nice. Most of the snow at the top of there is actually melted as well. It stays snow free for the majority of the slopes up there for a couple of months, and then it all starts again. Yeah, so if you want to visit the top of those, there's I think they call it doing all 4 peaks or something. So there's Banded, Outlaw, Glasgow and Coventry, I think is the other one. And there's a route that you can do that basically does all 4 peaks all the way along there. But if you want to do it snow free, July and August, maybe into September, you might get a bit of snow free up there, but other than that, it's going to be snowing again. Yeah. It's the only thing here, winter's minus 30, summer can be plus 30. Right, I'm heading across to the east. That's a good sized stone for an east stone. Let's stand that one back up. They were all knocked over, I don't know why. Somebody knocked them all over. I actually think it's quite nice having that. And they are accurate. I've just laid them out again, exactly off the compass. That is exactly east-west. The north stone, unfortunately, just a little one. This is the north stone. It is actually now spot on accurate. Tell you what else is spot on accurate. My tea. Need to be drinking some more of that. So when you come up, bottom of the valley, up through here, through the forest that way. Then the trail continues along the top here, and then you head down here, and you'll come to a T-junction down in the forest down that way. You turn right. There's a couple of steep bits. There's a very small rock band. Gotta be careful of that bit, and then head back down the valley to the road. I think this is something like, from the road, it's something like 450 meters, something like that. It's not a particularly difficult walk up here, but right, little steep in places, a couple of steep bits. But, you know, I think it's only 450, something like that. It's not huge. Right, my tea. Oh, just in a grasshopper. Get away from my tea, Mr. Grasshopper. Yeah. Don't think grasshoppers like tea. That is actually a very good chair. There he is. Let's see him sitting on the back there. Go away. Yes, you. Come on, bugger off. There you go. Leave my tea alone. Right, it's nice to get that pack off. I haven't seen a single bit of deadfall all the way up here. It's very nicely cleared out, actually. You can see somebody had actually been up here fairly recent, because there's a lot of very fresh cut trees through there, which is good. Way less for me to do. Right, I'm going to sit and enjoy that view and finish up my tea. If it doesn't make for a good spot for tea, I don't know what does. Yeah, it's a good job I wasn't going up Prairie Mountain today, because the elevation I've gained would be about, I don't know, halfway, a little over halfway up Prairie. So I'd still be slogging up that trail, and I can tell you that's not a very pleasant trail right at the beginning. Ironically, I find it easier to go up that hill than come down it, because coming down it, it gets your legs, it really does. Yeah, that's hard going on your legs coming down there. Being out here for the day, can't odds this. People do ask me why I do it. It's because I still can, basically. Yeah. Unfortunately, none of us get any younger. As you get older, getting up down these hills, particularly down the hills, I meet so many hikers and what have you. A lot of them way older than I am, and the one thing they always say is going down the hills is worse than going up the hills. There's some very nice trails down through that way, heading on down through there, but unfortunately you have to cross the river. The river is actually surprising for August. The river is still actually flowing pretty good. So there's some good water still up in the hills. We do have a fire, not a fire ban or restriction, but we do have a fire advisory on at the moment. So this is why I'm doing what I call the semi-tourist routes. It's I avoid places like that, because you could have 200 people up there easily in a day. Not my idea of fun. So I prefer to go to the quieter places. I'm usually back into somewhere quiet, but unfortunately at the moment I can't camp out there at the moment, because camping without a campfire is not really camping. It's got to have a campfire. That's the whole point. You sit and enjoy the campfire as the sun goes down and what have you. It's good. Yeah, that's what makes for a good day. That's an unwinding day, that is. Yeah. But unfortunately we can't have a campfire at the moment, so it only goes down to about 9 to 12 degrees, I guess, at the moment overnight. But that's still pretty cold, I can tell you. That's chilly. yeah, you wake up in the morning on a 9-degree morning with no cover or anything, you know, just a couple of tops and what have you. I do put an extra sweatshirt on when it's that cold, but you wake up in the morning and it's still chilly. Yeah. Oh, but this is by far and away the best way to enjoy a cup of tea. I stabilise my chair with the precise application of a rock under this slab. I think that's why this one broke, because the other piece of the slab wasn't supported. Right, we'll have a couple of bits of food left in there for later in the day, so I will save those until later. Those can go in there. Tea can go in there. I always bring my compass with me. Something a lot of people always forget, even on a day hike. Never forget a lamp. You have a good headlamp. This is a Bio 330. I like this thing. It's absolutely brilliant. It's small, it's lightweight, very versatile. It takes hopefully nothing. You can wander around with this all day. You don't even feel it. You don't even feel it. It's brilliant. And it has the thing on the back, so I can actually use that as a pass-through. A lot of people on a day hike, they never bring this with them. So they get out in the middle of nowhere and they suddenly get stuck as the day goes on. They panic because it starts to get darker. Well, if you bring a headlight with you, two things: people can see you from a very long way away, and always make sure you have a compass with you. See, always important to make sure you've got a compass. I'm not going to flash the compass over the mountains there, because people get upset at that, and rightly so. Yeah. Yes, look at that. Yeah. Works really well. Must admit, I do like this compass. That lives in there. What they should do, they have a little end on here, just a like a plastic stopper, if you like. What I'd like to see on there, instead of putting a plastic stopper on there, just put a whistle on there. Yeah. A lot of people always forget to have a whistle. A human voice out somewhere like this. I could hear those people. They were climbing up that ridge over there. I could hear them going up there. So human voice does travel a long way. But if you've got a, where's my God? It's on the front here somewhere. I'm not sure you can see it because it's on the front. Here I have my ever trusty Fox 40. Because I tell you, summer, winter, -30, +30, doesn't matter. That thing, you can still use it. It's absolutely brilliant. Every single person should have a decent whistle with them, because you can hear a human voice. If I was to shout, I mean, mostly because it would echo down the valley, but I can tell you now, the sound of a whistle will echo way, way more. It'll travel much further. Yeah. Yes. Right. I'm going to let my tea go down, and I'm going to wander back down the mountains down that way, and then decide on where to go to. Right, had to check around, not left anything behind. So that there is Ben's Hill. That's the legendary stone circle of Ben's Hill. Yeah. One nice look at that amazing view. Now I've got to head off into the sunshine a little bit. There's forest just over here. I'll be into the forest there not too far. This is a curious mix, the rock up in here, of limestone and what I call mudstone, because this was all bottom of an inland sea at one point. And occasionally, if you're very, very lucky, you find little bits of fossils in rocks and things, all up through the mountains and out through here. There's literally fossils everywhere. There are some very famous fossil beds up through this, some very important world famous ones. Up here you go up to the Burgess Shale and what have you. It's yeah, you need special permission to go up in there, so it's not somewhere you can just wander. Right, so I'm going to get back into the trees. Yay! Oh, you can feel that instant cool down as soon as I'm back into the trees here. Instantly cooler. Yes, as much as that is an absolutely amazing place to sit out in the sunshine, it without a hat, it's actually quite hot. Yeah. So right, I'm going to head back down the trail, and the good news is, from here it is downhill all the way back. Excellent. Right, I'll do some more when I get further down the trail. Right, well, Ben's Hill's that way. I've just come down from Ben's Hill. Actually passed a guy on a mountain bike, first one I've seen. These trail signs that the Bragg Creek Association put up, absolutely amazing. They do a really good job with all these signs and stuff, so you can't odds that. Yeah. Right, Pistarillo is the one that I came up, and I'm going to go down Loamzilla. I don't know who names these places, apologies for the names, but you can come up here whichever way you want. I prefer to do it as a clockwise loop, get the steep bit out the way first, although there is a steep piece down this side. Oh, I can hear that helicopter back again. Let's have a look, see if we can see him. That sounds like stars. It's the right engine sound for stars, and he's certainly travelling at the right speed for stars, because the like the work crew helicopters don't tend to be in that much of a hurry. That sounds like stars. Where are you, bugger? He's literally out that way. If I was still on Ben's Hill, I'd be able to see him clear. Yes. I'm not sure. It's one of those things in the mountains. The sounds of helicopters, if you're in trouble, they're a great sound. But I always tend to think, uh-oh, somebody's day's gone bad or whatever. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Oh, it's coming round. He's heading up through the gap there, heading out towards Moose Mountain. Interesting. Yeah. Yes. We'll have a look on the news later. That's not always a good sound. Right, the good news is that from here all the way down the mountain, it's down. Yay! Oh, he's circling up over Prairie Mountain there somewhere. I wonder if we've got an injured hiker on the mountain. I'll soon tell, because that's not a great sound. If you're coming down Loamzilla, trust me, that's steep up there. If you're coming down there and you get to this point where you start to break out the trees, stay on the trail, because there's a nasty drop off down there. This is like a little rock band that runs across the middle. There is a way down across the middle here where you can kind of cut through and down. In the winter I tend to do it that way. I'll show you when I get down there. I tend to do that in the winter because it's less icy. There's a little bit up here that on one of the corners where you go over the rock can get real icy. That helicopter's coming back again. Definitely something going on. I'm not sure what. He's been hovering around here for a while. But, I'm not sure it's a rescue job, because they're normally pretty much in and out and done and they're gone. If you're calling a helicopter out for a rescue, it's usually pretty damned important. Yeah. Right. Yeah, very nice view down through there though, isn't it? Yeah. I can still hear him flying around down there. He's kind of by Prairie Mountain and Elbow Falls there. Yeah. Hopefully somebody hasn't fell off the falls again. Yeah. They normally send ground crews for that. Remember last year, guy, was it last year or the year before? Guy fell off of up there at Nahahi Ridge. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, so they got an air crew in there to pick him up as quick as possible, but unfortunately not quick enough. He didn't make it. Yeah, right, this is an important turn off because that's where you're going to go. There is a way down here. I'll just show you. You can come around that corner there. You can go down this path here. you can go down there into the bottom of the valley, off down through that way. I usually cut straight down across, but somebody's made a path that kind of goes up and in and around, and it'll actually take you down the bottom of those cliffs over there. It takes you down through the forest that way. I don't particularly like going that way. In the winter I go straight down here, literally past this tree, cut down across the back, down through the trees that way, cuts across, and then brings you out down the bottom. But at the moment I'm just going to go round, I think. Nice view though, eh? Yes, this piece is very steep. Normally I come around the other side of that rock, down through that valley. Looks like that's why people have made a different trail down through there. It avoids this really slippery piece here. This piece in winter, no, I wouldn't even do this bit in winter. You follow those little rocks there, that little cliffy bit, follow it around the corner, and there's a trail comes down there, and it'll join up back down the bottom here, I suspect, fairly soon. Right, looks like people have added a new route. I've always come down through that way, especially in the colder weather, but my guess is people don't like doing this steep bit. This steep bit is really steep. It's not nice at all. Hands and feet and almost sliding down on your rear end. Right, I'm going to head back down and do some when I find out where the other end of that trail came out. Well, that makes more sense now. I wonder where that other little side chute went. What they did is, instead of coming down that ridiculously steep piece, which brings you out on the left hand side here, they doubled back up into that little gully, came along this side of the ridge in the gully, and came down that path there on the right. That actually makes way more sense. Yeah, because I've come down through that way in the winter. Obviously people have found that a much easier route, because that steep slippery bit, not fun at all. Literally coming down there on your hands and feet and sitting on your rear end most of the time. Right. This is why I like to do this hike. I like to go around this one clockwise, because walking up this way, oh no, it's if you go the other way, obviously elevation isn't free, so whichever way you go you've got to do the elevation. So going up the other way, going round clockwise, you do all that really steep bit first off, and then you avoid most of this. But I don't think I'd want to come up this way. Right, I'm going to head on back down and then decide on where to head to next.